Hello and welcome to Body Geeks TV. It's been a little while longer than I planned since we last spoke, or more accurately since I last spoke. And though lots of interesting things have been happening recently, we're actually going to start with some 3-week-old news, which is my holiday. For those of you who don't know, which is probably most of you, I've been on holiday in Florida for the last few weeks, and unsurprisingly for those of you who've ever been to Florida, or specifically Disney World, being on holiday brought up the subject of obesity. People in Florida be fat. Now, I'm not sure if it's entirely fair to say that people in Florida are fat, because obviously people from all over America and indeed all over the world go to Disney World. But still, I have never been anywhere in my life with such a large percentage of people who are morbidly obese. Like, I need to go around in a motorised scooter obese. And while marvelling to myself at these people who had literally eaten themselves into disability, I started wondering to myself what combination of factors is it that allows a person to let themselves get into this state. Now, just to be clear, I'm not talking about people who've let themselves go a little bit or powered on a few extra pounds or 1 or 2 extra cakes. I'm talking about people who cannot wipe their own arses without mechanical assistance. Anyway, inspired by my recent trip to Florida, I've decided to write a series of articles on the subject of obesity and on the subject of the things which I've seen as a personal trainer which act as barriers or enablers for people to become that fat or to not lose the weight after they started gaining it. Because the thing is, I'm pretty sure if I lived in Florida for any significant period of time, I would gain weight. I mean, I'm sure I would gain weight. In fact, I did gain weight. It's very difficult not to, and there are lots of reasons for that. And so I just wanted to discuss a few of those actually in written form. So anyway, if you've got a few minutes to kill and you thought it would be interesting to have a look at what I think are the reasons why people are fat and getting fatter, I've included a link in the description below which goes to the category page for that little section on my website, so you can read all the articles. There will be new ones appearing as I think of new reasons why people are so fat. Next we have some more up-to-date news. It's a report done on those little round-soled MBT shoe type things which you've probably seen in shops, claiming that they will tone up your bum simply by standing around or walking or doing ordinary mundane tasks rather than exercising. And I'm sure people only wear them because of the fact that they say that, because they look stupid, dude. They look really ugly, actually, in my opinion. Sorry, I know at least one person is watching this game. Bastard. Because I know she wears them. But they don't look good. And honestly, it shouldn't be too difficult to figure out anyway for anyone who's actually done a workout. I mean, are we honestly saying that we believe that those little standing around in the shoe which is a little bit unstable is quite the same thing as doing, I don't know, some lunges or some squats or leg presses or any of the other wonderful exercises which people do to actually work the muscles in their legs? But anyway, some scientific types have actually checked it out with rulers and elastic bands and God knows what other technical pieces of equipment, and they found that not only do these shoes not really have any impact on the big muscles of the leg, like the thighs and the calves and the buttocks and things you would actually want to tone up, but even the muscles they do affect, which are the small balancing synergistic muscles of the leg, are only affected for a few weeks before they too adapt and don't really have to work any harder to balance in the new shoes. The muscles in your thighs, calves and buttocks, I just thought I'd do that again, don't actually work any harder, though they do work differently than they would do if you were wearing normal shoes. But the difference in terms of muscular effort is so small that it can't do anything to change the shape or build muscle. It just kind of means that the muscles are working in a slightly new way. So if you're wearing those shoes for the purposes of getting a bum like this, you are sadly going to be disappointed. And lastly, many of you will already have heard of Lorena Bobbitt, the woman who famously chopped off her husband's penis and threw it out of the window of a moving car. It was later found and reattached, though by all accounts not that successfully, and he went on to star in a couple of questionable porn films called Frankenpenis, I think. I don't know who those were marketed at. I don't know who they thought, hey, we'll make this film about this guy's freaky dick, and those people over there, they're going to want to see this. I don't know who those people were. Well, apparently another lady called Catherine Q. Becker, depicted in this terribly scary looking picture, has heard of Lorena Bobbitt because she decided to do the same thing, but she decided to be a little bit more thorough, and instead of allowing it to be reattached, she took the dismembered penis, threw it into the garbage disposal, and turned it on. Now, I know that due to all of the desensitization we've experienced on the internet, most of your reactions will be to laugh at this news, but this is not funny. I mean, seriously, could you imagine any act of infidelity which justifies this? I can think of acts, I can think of crimes in general where I might just about think to myself, yeah, you know what, screw it, go ahead and do that to that guy. But cheating isn't one of them. Catherine is currently standing trial for, amongst other things, aggravated mayhem and torture. I don't know what aggravated mayhem, what the definition of that is. But it does carry a life sentence in prison, so she could be going to jail for life. And I mean, going to prison for life is something which I can think of crimes which justify, you know, I think of lots of crimes which you think, yeah, okay, you know what, you did that, you should go to prison for life, but not the penis thing. Anyway, that horrifying news marks the end of my return from my holiday. It's lovely to be back. Join me next week where I shall endeavour not to talk about penises.